Welcome to the last module of this course. In this presentation, we will discuss the common integuments and the variations present in different animals. The presentation is divided into three parts. The first and second parts will discuss the common integuments in mammals, while the third part is focused on the common integuments in birds. The common integument includes the skin, the hair, the skin glands, the claws, the hoof, the horns, and all modifications in the integumentary system. Mostly unrecognized, but the integument is generally important for the protection of the body against mechanical, chemical, physical, and biological factors within the environment. Great variation exists among domestic animals, and the integument itself is the most obvious anatomical features that one can use to distinguish one animal from that of another. In this module, we will try to identify the unique and distinguishing feature of the different domestic animals with basis on their integument. At the end of this presentation, each student should be able to identify the different skin glands, compare the different hair types, compare the mammary glands of different domestic animals, compare the hoof, claw, and horn of different domestic animals, identify the features of the integument of birds, and identify the different types of feathers in birds. Let us begin with the skin. The skin is considered as the largest organ and covers the body of most domestic animals. The skin is composed of two main layers, the outer epidermis and the inner dermis. From your histology class, you learned that the epidermis is composed of 5 layers of cells. From the innermost to outermost, it is composed of the stratum basale, stratum spinosum, stratum granulosum, stratum lucidum, and the stratum corneum. On the other hand, the dermis is located beneath the epidermis and is the thickest layer of the skin. It is made up of fibrous and elastic tissues. Within the skin are skin glands. There are two types of skin glands, the sebaceous glands and the sweat glands. The sebaceous glands are distributed over the integument in association with the hair follicles into which they drain as shown here. These glands produce a fatty secretion called sebum. This gland is present in all mammals except in pigs, in which the sebaceous gland is sparse and rudimentary. The sweat glands, on the other hand, can further subdivided based on the histology of their secretory process into apocrine and eccrine sweat gland. As the main comparison between the two, apocrine sweat glands are more common and discharge their albuminous sweat into hair follicles. Take note that their secretion provides the individual odor characteristic of each animal. These glands are especially numerous in the horse. In contrast, the eccrine sweat glands are not associated with the hairs and secrete a more watery sweat directly onto the skin. This sweat gland is found only in the hairless region in the animal's body, like in the foot pad of dog. In some cases, skin glands accumulate in certain areas, and this vary depending on the animal, and the secretion of these glands function as sexual or territorial markers. Let us discuss some of these specialized skin glands. In pigs, there is what we call carpal glands. These are located proximal to the carpus on the caudomedial side of the leg. They produce sexual pheromones to sexually stimulate the mating partner. In cats, they have a circumoral gland located in the skin around the lower lip. Their functional significance, although called cleaning gland, is for marking purposes. In dogs, anal sac glands are located in the walls of the anal sacs. They secrete into the anal sacs for the storage. In small ruminants, a specialized skin gland is present at the base of their horn called horn glands. Next, we take a look at the hair. Hair is a feature of the skin that is class-specific for mammals. In most species, The hair coat is spread over the whole body with the exception of a few body regions such as the nose, digital pads, teeth, claws, and hooves. Let us review the basic anatomy of a hair. Each hair consists of a central medulla, a cortex, and an outer cuticle. The hair shaft is the one that protrudes above the surface of the skin. The hair has a root which anchors the hair in the dermis, while the hair bulb is the proximal enlargement of the root. The root of the hair is embedded in a structure called hair follicle. You can see here a muscle called arrector pili which can involuntarily move the hair during thermoregulation. Now let us see the different types of hair. There are at least 5 types of hair, one of which is the bristle. They are described as the stiff hair, the coat of the pig, the cilia, the vibrissae, which are the hair of the nostrils, and the beard of the goat are examples of bristle. Guard hairs are the top layer of the coat. Guard hairs are longer, generally coarser, and have nearly straight shafts. They are present in domestic animals except in pigs and in sheep. In contrast, wool hairs are the wavy, fine, short inner coat or undercoat. Anatomically, the medulla is absent in wool hair. This is the hair type of the fleece of sheep. We also have a type of hair called long hair, which is present in the forelock, mane, tail, and feathers of horse. Tactile hairs are stiff, sensory hairs in some of the domestic animals, which are located on the upper and lower lip, chin, cheek, and around the eye and carpus. We can also compare the animals based on their hair follicles. A single hair follicle is present in large animals like horse and cattle. A single hair follicle is also present in pigs, but they are grouped in cluster. In dogs and in cats, they have a compound hair follicles with a single primary hair and a group of smaller secondary hairs. In cats, the compound follicles have 3 primary hairs with many secondary hairs. And that ends the first part of our module on common integument.